Welcome back to Open Window Politics. Today we're going to be going over how Trump was able to win Nevada in 2024, but not in 2016. Let's get going. First up, we're going to be going through the 2016 election results for Nevada. Make sure to stay to the end. You'll be able to see which way I think Nevada will go in 2028. So we'll start out with 2016. Here's the election results. Hillary Clinton was able to win Nevada, roughly 48 to 45%, with Gary Johnson taking 3.3%. This happened for a couple of reasons. We can start out with Clark County, which is, of course, the home to Las Vegas, as well as quite a few of the suburban areas around there. And this came in pretty well for Democrats. It's been fairly consistently a Democrat, I wouldn't say stronghold, but has certainly done well for Democrats in the past. So this county went to Hillary Clinton 52.4%. We'll be getting to what it looked like in 2024, but Trump, he ran up the numbers in rural Nevada, but especially Elko County. This is kind of the Republican foothold of the state of Nevada, if Vegas is the Democratic foothold. A couple other interesting areas to take note. We have this county right here with Reno in it, and this is kind of one of the swing counties that generally is a bellwether for how the state will go. And in 2016, it went to Hillary Clinton. So that was part of her victory, part of the reason for why she was able to win the state. Next up, we'll be going to the 2024 election results for the state of Nevada. We will start with the election results at large. So we have Trump winning the state of Nevada with 50.6% of the vote, 751,000 votes, to Harris's 705,000 votes with 47.5% of the vote. So we'll be going through some of these swing counties. So this county that I mentioned earlier is somewhat of a bellwether. It generally goes blue just because the state of Nevada generally does. In this case, it was closer than it was in 2016, if I remember correctly. So that was part of the reason Trump was able to narrow up. And then we can also get to Elko County. This is kind of as I mentioned, the Republican foothold of the state of Nevada, if there is one. But the really interesting story is when we get to the to the county of Clark County. Harris did win this county, but it was way closer than it had been previously in previous elections. Harris won with 50.4% of the vote, so she did win the county, but Trump was able to really run up the numbers in Clark County. And then, of course, he really had to do incredibly well throughout the rural parts of Nevada, such as these more rural counties. He's regularly getting 70% of the vote. We also have Carson City and this general area here that resulted in a Republican victory by a pretty significant margin. We see a couple other counties here, and so that was enough, as well with a strong performance among Hispanic Americans throughout the state, but especially in Las Vegas and Clark County, that was enough for the state at large to flip red. And as far as how it will vote in 2028, that's what we'll do next. In 2016, we saw the state go to Hillary Clinton, as we went over previously. Then in 2020, it was also in the Democratic Party's column. Joe Biden was able to win the state of Nevada. But then in 2024, the state, like I mentioned, kind of shocked the nation and ended up voting for Trump on the presidential level. And the majority of my predictions, I have had the state of Nevada fairly consistently in the Democratic Party's category. I do think it will be close. So at most, I've had it in the lean category. I think it will also strongly depend on who the candidate Democrats put forward. At the moment, the Republican candidate is looking like J.D. Vance for 2028. Still got quite a ways till then, but for now, that's what we'll be going with. So it really is dependent upon which Democrat gets put up for the nomination. I think if it was more progressive, like AOC, that would probably be Republicans' best hope at winning the state. I think that her democratic socialism messaging would not play well to quite a few voters here in the state of Nevada, and that would result in potentially a loss. I think it would be close, but if it were a more moderate Democrat like Pete Buttigieg, possibly even Gavin Newsom, I think it would narrow up and result in a Democratic victory. So that is going to be state of Nevada. Definitely a fascinating state to keep your eye on. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.